On Sunday, March 7, 1965, 600 of us lined up in twos to dramatize to the nation that people wanted to register to vote. We got to the highest point on the Pettus Bridge, crossing the Alabama River. Down below, we saw a sea of blue Alabama State Troopers. They came toward us.
I grew up hearing the stories of my uncle's experience in Selma in the days after Bloody Sunday. His involvement in social justice has always had a profound effect on me, and together we traveled back to Selma to retrace his steps 51 years later. But we also found that the fight for voting rights is far from over. This is our journey.
They used to pay me not to sing.
It just looked vicious, absolutely vicious. And you think people have the right to vote in the United States.
There was a sheriff in Selma, Alabama by the name of Jim Clark. He carried an electric caparata. He didn't use it on cows.
The two guys who had waved to us suddenly grabbed us and pulled us inside the garage. Where did you stay? They wanted to know the name of the black family. And one guy picked up a huge wrench. So whenever I see a white garage, I'm afraid. For a while, I was afraid of white people.
Most people forget that initially only white men with real property could vote.
To say that you're doing it to prevent fraud is really quite disingenuous. I think it's all about race.
I wrote harshly. The counties in Alabama that had the highest percentage of minorities were all affected by the closures.
No, I don't see any barriers for our residents. As long as I'm Secretary of State of Alabama, you're going to have to show some initiative. But if you want to participate in this process, you're going to have to participate.
Typically, the more difficult we make it to participate, the more skewed democracy becomes, the more it's white, wealthy, well-educated, older voters.
This upcoming election will be the first time in 50 years, a national election without the protection of the Voting Rights Act.
These attacks on voting rights are trying to push the clock backwards. And for those of us who tried to push it forward, I think it reminds us that we need not to give up. We need to get active again. We need to take the message, especially to young people.